Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
A quality of a given color that differs slightly from another color. After several trials, he mixed the shade of pink that she wanted. A protective ornamental covering for a lamp, used to screen a light bulb from direct view. Relative darkness caused by light rays being intercepted by an opaque body. It is much cooler in the shade. A mental representation of some haunting experience. A slight amount or degree of difference. The new model is a shade better than the old one. Represent the effect of shade or shadow on. Cast a shadow over. A subtle difference in meaning or opinion or attitude. Don't argue about shades of meaning. A position of relative inferiority. An achievement that puts everything else in the shade. A representation of the effect of shadows in a picture or drawing, as by shading or darker pigment. Pass from one quality such as color to another by a slight degree. The butterfly wings shade to yellow. Protect from light, heat, or view. Protective covering that protects something from direct sunlight. They used umbrellas as shades. Vary slightly. Shade the meaning. A quality of a given color that differs slightly from another color. Fill, as with a certain quality. The heavy traffic tinctures the air with carbon monoxide. An indication that something has been present. A tincture of condescension. A substance that colors or dyes. Pharmacology, a medicine consisting of an extract in an alcohol solution. Stain or tinge with a slight amount of a color. The sky was tinctured red. A quality of a given color that differs slightly from another color. A dye for coloring the hair. A just detectable amount. A tint of glamour. Color lightly. A quality of a given color that differs slightly from another color. The elastic tension of living muscles, arteries, etc. that facilitate response to stimuli. The general atmosphere of a place or situation and the effect that it has on people. A clergyman improved the tone of the meeting. A notation representing the pitch and duration of a musical sound. Give a healthy elasticity to. Let's tone our muscles. Music, the distinctive property of a complex sound, a voice or noise or musical sound. The muffled tones of the broken bell summoned them to meet. A musical interval of two semitones. The quality of a person's voice. He began in a conversational tone. Vary the pitch of one's speech. Utter monotonously and repetitively and rhythmically. A steady sound without overtones. They tested his hearing with pure tones of different frequencies. Change the color or tone of. Tone a negative. Change to a color image. Tone a photographic image. Linguistics. A pitch or change in pitch of the voice that serves to distinguish words in tonal languages. The Beijing dialect uses 4 tones. The quality of something, an act or a piece of writing, that reveals the attitudes and presuppositions of the author. The general tone of articles appearing in the newspapers is that the government should withdraw. A protective ornamental covering for a lamp, used to screen a light bulb from direct view. A protective ornamental covering for a lamp, used to screen a light bulb from direct view. Relative darkness caused by light rays being intercepted by an opaque body. There's too much shadiness to take good photographs. Questionable honesty or legality. They acted with such obvious shadiness that they were instantly recognizable. Relative darkness caused by light rays being intercepted by an opaque body. Haunt like a ghost. Pursue. Write for someone else. How many books have you ghostwritten so far? A suggestion of some quality. He detected a ghost of a smile on her face. A mental representation of some haunting experience. He looked like he had seen a ghost. A writer who gives the credit of authorship to someone else. Move like a ghost. The masked men ghosted across the moonlit yard. The visible disembodied soul of a dead person. A mental representation of some haunting experience. It aroused specters from his past. A ghostly appearing figure. A mental representation of some haunting experience. A ghostly appearing figure. A mental representation of some haunting experience. Someone unpleasantly strange or eccentric. Frighten or scare, and often provoke into a violent action. The noise spooked the horse. A mental representation of some haunting experience. A slight amount or degree of difference. A tad too expensive. Write all the required information onto a form. Be a substitute. Represent the effect of shade or shadow on. Supply with information on a specific topic. Cast a shadow over. A spy employed to follow someone and report their movements. An indication that something has been present. Something existing in perception only. Cast a shadow over. Make appear small by comparison. An unilluminated area. A dominating and pervasive presence. He received little recognition working in the shadow of his father. An inseparable companion. The poor child was his mother's shadow. A premonition of something adverse. A shadow over his happiness. Follow, usually without the person's knowledge. The police are shadowing her. Refuge from danger or observation. He felt secure in his father's shadow. Shade within clear boundaries. Conformity with some aesthetic standard of correctness or propriety. A subtle difference in meaning or opinion or attitude. A subtle difference in meaning or opinion or attitude. Without understanding the finer nuances, you can't enjoy the humor. The process of removing impurities, as from oil or metals or sugar, etc. A highly developed state of perfection, having a flawless or impeccable quality. I admired the exquisite refinement of his prose. The result of improving something. He described a refinement of this technique. The quality of excellence in thought and manners and taste. A man of intellectual refinement. A subtle difference in meaning or opinion or attitude. the quality of being difficult to detect or analyze. You had to admire the subtlety of the distinctions he drew. A subtle difference in meaning or opinion or attitude. Any material used for its color. Physics, the characteristic of quarks that determines their role in the strong interaction. Having or capable of producing colors. Decorate with colors. Give a deceptive explanation or excuse for. Change color, often in an undesired manner. The appearance of objects, or light sources, described in terms of a person's perception of their hue and lightness, or brightness, and saturation. Interest in variety and intensity. Modify or bias. An outward or token appearance or form that is deliberately misleading. The timbre of a musical sound. A visual attribute of things that results from the light they emit or transmit or reflect. Effect as in thought or feeling. Add color to. A digestible substance used to give color to food. The act or process of changing the color of something. A visual attribute of things that results from the light they emit or transmit or reflect. A digestible substance used to give color to food. The act or process of changing the color of something. A visual attribute of things that results from the light they emit or transmit or reflect. Any material used for its color. She used a different color for the trim. Physics, the characteristic of quarks that determines their role in the strong interaction. Each flavor of quarks comes in 3 colors. Having or capable of producing colors. Color film. Decorate with colors. Color the walls with paint in warm tones. Give a deceptive explanation or excuse for. Color a lie. Change color, often in an undesired manner. The shirt's discolored. The appearance of objects, or light sources, described in terms of a person's perception of their hue and lightness, or brightness, and saturation. Interest in variety and intensity. The Puritan period was lacking in color. Modify or bias. His political ideas color his lectures. An outward or token appearance or form that is deliberately misleading. The situation soon took on a different color. The timbre of a musical sound. The recording fails to capture the true color of the original music. A visual attribute of things that results from the light they emit or transmit or reflect. A white color is made up of many different wavelengths of light. Effect as in thought or feeling. My personal feelings color my judgment in this case. Add color to. The child colored the drawings. A covering that is intended to protect from damage or injury. The tough natural covering of some organisms. Payment extorted by gangsters on threat of violence. Every store in the neighborhood had to pay him protection. A covering that is intended to protect from damage or injury. They had no protection from the fallout. Defense against financial failure, financial independence. Insurance provided protection against loss of wages due to illness. The imposition of duties or quotas on imports in order to protect domestic industry against foreign competition. He made trade protection a plank in the party platform. kindly endorsement and guidance. The condition of being protected. They were huddled together for protection. The activity of protecting someone or something. The witnesses demanded police protection. A covering that is intended to protect from damage or injury. Partial darkness. Something existing in perception only. A ghostly appearing figure. Something existing in perception only. A ghostly apparition at midnight. A ghostly appearing figure. We were unprepared for the apparition that confronted us. An act of appearing or becoming visible unexpectedly. Natives were amazed at the apparition of this white stranger. The appearance of a ghost-like figure. I was recalled to the present by the apparition of a frightening specter.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.